The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. All right, let's do some sports concepts and rationalizations. We call it the 10-minute drill. You think it gets angry and tough here during the other segments. Take a listen to this one as Jeff and I will darn near come to fisticuffs and then realize we're too old and that if we throw punches, we'll break hands. But afterwards, the good news is Beef will hand out a lovely prize pack. That includes what today, Beef?
One lucky Guggen, Dan, going to take home tickets to the Celtic Music and Heritage Festival next weekend in St. Aug, March 14th and 15th. They'll also, for their next foray away from the First Coast, get some airport parking at USA Park.
Now, the initial reaction is always the most stark, no matter what it is, right? If somebody scares you, it scares you worse that first half second, and a minute later you've settled down.
Yeah.
And so the Jags are making all these moves that are all detracting from what they have. So initially, your reaction is very stark. But is it possible, and this is even after a week where we bemoan the lack of progress, is it possible that we're overreacting a little bit? We're underselling what they can still piece together in, quite frankly, a division that's not great. And I know we had two playoff teams, and they also
so much is up in the air still. Like, what if Tom Brady goes to Tennessee? What if Phillip Rivers goes to Indy? What if both those things happen?
Yeah.
What if? Now, listen, I feel like we've been pretty much on here, and I'll say this again. The frustrating part, I think, for Jags fans is that the glimmer of hope, the only glimmer of hope left is the draft. And so we had going in 18 picks in the next 2 years. We've since added to that. But if you take away – listen, Jeff, let's say you open with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers next year at Lambeau Field. DJ Hayden, Trey Herndon.
Well, they're going to draft a corner.
Yeah, and rookie corner, good luck.
Yeah, that's why
that's an L.
That's why
that's to me – So depending on, now look, they're going to, let's say they hit on some good young football players. Okay. Let's say Derek Brown is Aaron Donald. Let's say C.J. Henderson is a stout, a stout corner. Let's say those two things happen. Let's say.
I just hate building defense. Ugh.
Okay, well, let's say Jerry Jeudy is Julio Jones.
Let me ask you a question.
Henry Ruggs is Tyreek Hill.
What if I told you that this was your depth chart on offense, and you tell me how optimistic you would be, rather? What if your left tackle were Andrew Thomas, your left guard were Norwell, your center were Linder, your right guard was Cam Robinson, your right tackle was Jawan Taylor, your tight end was Austin Hooper, and Cole Kmet is his backup. Your receivers were Jerry Jeudy, DJ Chark, and D.D. Westbrook, and your running backs were Leonard Fournette and Cam Akers. Doesn't that sound significantly better than what we had last year?
Yes, but then
doesn't that sound more on par with a team that can actually maybe score 30 points?
And they're going to give up 35 easy because you're going to have the exact same. You're going to have a worse defense than you did a year ago.
And if they draft Brown and Henderson, how many wins are they going to have next year?
Well, again,
how good are they going to be?
Well,
don't they still have holes?
They're going to be the same.
Yeah, and they have filled no holes on offense of all that are really getting juiced. Yeah. I just see. Look, for a while we had one side of the ball that was close to dominant, that was the better side of the ball, and we added to it nonstop. We're a defense that was already playing good middle of the year. We go get Marcel Darius. We're a defense that is still playing good. We use a first-round pick on a defensive tackle. We had no problem continuing to load up defense when it was the good side of the ball. Well, now for the first time, golly, since Brunell was here, we have a chance to put together an offensive, lineup in Arsenal that, people would actually have to pay attention to. And I like the idea of that.
This was supposed to be my surefire way of winning, and it went back to let's just draft offense.
That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not that simple. I'm not saying let's just draft offense. I'm saying let's get better. And I just feel like if we go defensive tackle, defense, corner, guard.
Yeah.
We're going to be the same. We're like plugging holes, but not fixing one single wall. Anyway, so your surefire then
Did you watch the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
One of the reasons they won the Super Bowl is because of guys that they added, like Tyrann Mathieu, the play of their defensive tackle, Chris Jones, adding Frank Clark and their defense got significantly better and was able to not get annihilated by like a Tom Brady team at home like they did year previous. They had the offense, but they fixed the defense. So you can make arguments on both sides. You just got to get better players all around. It doesn't matter where they are. Just get better players, man, and don't lose your good ones. And the Jags have had a terrible propensity for losing good football players.
That's true, too.
And it's not all their fault.
If you draft a guy in the top 10, is your expectation? I mean, you're
Pro Bowl.
Is
He
all
should be
pro,
a pro. Well, he should be a Pro Bowler.
Okay. Now, so
you have to temper it a little bit. There's only 22 all pros
in the history, and I know, and again, it's a self-serving.
If there's only 22 all pros and 10 players come in each year.
I'm not saying every year, but that is the ceiling. You're hoping to get if you draft a defensive tackle in the top 10, you want and expect it to be Aaron Donald.
Yes.
Not Ronaldo Wynn.
Right.
Okay. Or Tyson Alualu.
Right.
A better example because he actually is top 10.
Sure.
If you draft a receiver, number 9, you expect him to be Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, Fitzgerald, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
In the history of the NFL, could you tell me which positions are more responsible for a championship team? Running back, receiver, quarterback, or all the others combined?
Well, listen, we've done this a million times.
Yeah, it's all the others combined don't come close.
Well, I don't know. Defensive end's awful dadgum important.
It's
more important than receiver.
There are very few defensive ends.
End is way more important than receiver or tight end.
Tell me the defensive end that won the Super Bowl for his team, that led his team to the Super Bowl.
Tell me the tight end that won the Super Bowl.
I'm not tight end. I said running back, receiver, quarterback specifically.
Tell me the running back.
Emmett, heard of him?
Oh, that was 40 years
ago. There have been a ton of running back. Jerome Bettis. Let's go down the list. Let's find them.
I don't know how important they are anymore.
Quarterbacks, obviously, and receivers, obviously. My point being, and they're not just right there close, but when you're talking about putting together a player who's going to change your franchise, it's not going to be a defensive tackle.
No, it's going to be a quarterback.
Probably. Most likely.
UNF sadly took it on the chin last night. You and I were talking in the break. We go deep layer here, extra layer, inside the Lipscomb UNF victory and realize that one of the stars for Lipscomb last night, I think he had 26 points. Is that correct?
First Coast kid from here.
It's from here. Yeah, our boys are all his age and sort of grew up with him. In fact, my older son played basketball with him at St. Paul's. He was a Tommy Houlihan product and was really good. His dad was very involved in his hoops career. They moved to Nashville or somewhere in Tennessee. He went on to play high school baskall up there.
He did. He went to Brentwood Academy, which is like a bowl.
Yeah.
I think that's where Jalen went. I think he went to the same. I say he went to Brentwood, but they have like two or three.
May not. Yeah, he got a scholarship to Iowa. For whatever reason, that didn't work out, and I think he ended up transferring to Lipscomb. His name's Andrew Fleming, but he was one of the key cogs last night that knocked off. This is now look. There's a consolation prize for UNF. It's been a great year, so you don't feel. My first thought is, oh gosh, but you won a conference championship and you go to the NIT, I believe. So there are some definite consolation prizes for those guys to keep going, and it was a tough loss. They lost by 2, and they didn't shoot the ball particularly well last night, right?
Listen to me. UNF choked.
What?
They played a team at home that they beat at home easily 2 weeks ago.
That's a team that won 8 of 9.
I don't care. Well. You're the better team. You're at home. You got to win the game.
Oh no.
You have a very small window there. You're the favorite. You're at home. This isn't the big bad, Liberty team that you have to go on the road and play.
Dear, no.
Yeah, so all right. Then we won't call it a choke. We'll nice it up. You gave away a tremendous opportunity. You got home court.
Andrew Fleming played at prestigious Oak Hill Academy under Steve Smith. He also played at Ensworth High School in Nashville.
That's the one.
So that's not Brentwood.
Ensworth, though, is one of those, those private schools.
Yeah, he didn't play much at Iowa. So that. Did he go someplace else? Chattanooga?
That's what I said. I thought he had a stop before Lipscomb, to be honest.
To your point, Jeff, when I saw them play Lipscomb, they were up 17.
Oh, that's the game you went?
17 with 8 minutes to go.
I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? You don't have a chance. The window doesn't swing open for an NCAA tournament, berth for UNF very often. So I know they're disappointed. I don't mean to pile on, but Make no mistake, that wasn't some dragon they had to slay. They're a favorite at home. You got to get it done, man. That's the one thing when you rely on those threes, buddy. I don't know if that hurt him last night. I didn't want at the game, but it's,
That was a tough loss.
When you get into postseason basketball, especially the ability to
They do get the NIT, so I believe so.
Yeah,
anyway,
good for them. Yeah, the
wish
season's
them
not over. It's just, you get excited to see them maybe go to the tournament, right?
Oh, sure.
One thing you need if you're UNF, like they got this Cruz kid at Hilliard who's leading them to the title. You need those local kids if you're UNF or JU. And I thought of that with Fleming. I know Fleming didn't end up finishing high school here, but
yeah.
And look at UNF, and they have done a good job of that. When they've had success, they've gotten many of their guys from right here around the First Coast area.
I'll say this. Driscoll has offered a lot of kids from Jacksonville scholars.
Yeah, I know. And Matt does a great job. It's just disappointing, I guess.
It's
especially when you're a favorite and you're at home.
If you're from here, it's a tougher sell to recruit a local kid. Because you want to go travel.
I just hate
somewhere else.
And that's fine.
Right?
I hate to see him go to Stetson like the Carlisle kid did, or to
Carlisle's Florida Gulf Coast.
Okay, Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
And Gulf Coast also had Terrell. Stetson also had a kid from here. I don't remember but a good one and within the last few years. So those guys you'd like to be able to keep, right? And they do. And they do get most of them. It's just, look, disappointing, like I said, to be at home, to be a favorite, and to lose to a team that you just demolished at home, within the last couple of weeks. Do you give LeBron any chance at the MVP? Would you give him your nod, or you like everyone else? It's Giannis or no one.
I think Giannis wins it. I think it tends in the NBA. It tends to. Now we may look back and go,
they make a joke of the MVP.
Well, I don't know if they make a joke, but they tend to give it to the guy like who wins it, who maybe shouldn't win it, wins it like 2 times in a row.
Yeah, stories win it.
They almost like legitimize it, like Steve Nash, Steph.
LeBron, in fairness, LeBron should have about 10 or 12 MVPs.
Yes.
There's no other player that could have taken LeBron's career path and had his results. Not one.
This feels so much like the same conversation we had about Jordan.
Right.
Where you look back and you're like, Karl Malone and Charles Barkley were winning MVPs. Like, what?
I think Giannis gets a little too much credit myself. He's a great player. But the talk of him like he's more daunting than these others.
They'd be nothing without him.
Well, I don't know if they'd be nothing. But so would the Lakers.
Yeah.
So would most teams if they lost their absolute best player. I mean, Giannis is a terrific player.
He puts up some staggering numbers. So
he does. I guess he's like a baby deer out there to me. He's so kind of
like, no offense, Beef,
clunky.
But there is no scenario I can see, and I know he was good for that year, but Derrick Rose MVP?
No, I agree.
I
love Derrick Rose,
but
he was a great player.
They always do
but that was a narrative.
Yeah, that was anyone.
They came out of nowhere.
We're not giving LeBron 3 years in a row.
In fair, the irony is, if they gave it to LeBron this year, they would be guilty of doing the same thing in his favor.
And the one thing they weren't gonna
Giannis
do.
has the numbers. Giannis has the WAR. He's number one and all that. Giannis has rightfully, earned the distinction.
Go ahead.
The one thing the writers weren't going to do was reward LeBron in his first year in Miami.
Right.
When he had embraced the villain role.
Right. You're right.
Was that Kobe's finally won one? Who was that?
No, that was a Derrick Rose year.
Oh,
Derrick Rose put the Bulls on their back. They won 61 games. He said before the season, why can't I be MVP? It became a good story.
Did Steve Nash take some of Kobe's MVPs?
Yes, 2 of them.
Well, he took one from Shaq, for sure.
Well, I don't know if he took them from Kobe. He won 2 back-to-back, though.
Where should have Kobe won?
I don't know if Kobe should have.
Kobe won 1.
Yeah. Kobe.
Kevin Garnett.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Duncan.
No, Duncan's a better player than Kobe.
Allen Iverson. Kind of Russell Westbrook-like MVP.
Just stop the avalanche before
Or is that still Shaq's time?
Kobe's the best,
That was still Shaq's
everyone.
time.
Yeah.
Relax. Nothing like Kobe. Sorry, I didn't mean to actually compare him to anyone else. So just save me your reaction. Kobe's the man. Or I hate you. It's kind of the attitude.
All right, let's do this. Let's go caller number...
Thank you.
Caller number 4 right now. Beef, tell them what they're going to win.
Caller number 4 right now.
641-1010.
At 641-1010, going to take home a pair of tickets to the Celtic Music and Heritage Festival down in St. Aug next weekend, March 14th and 15th. They'll also get some airport parking from our pals over at usapark.net. So call now.